Good day traders, this is Stefanos on behalf of Tixee, and in today's webinar we will be giving an outlook of the market for the week of the 23rd until the 27th of May. Looking at some of the highlights for next week, we'll be having three key names reporting their earnings as we draw close to the current earnings season. As always, please note that all of the ideas discussed in this webinar are my own opinions and do not make up for any form of investment and trading advice, neither any recommendations to buy or sell. You should always do your own research and due diligence before buying or selling any securities, financial products or instruments, and whether you use any kind of trading strategies. Any information that relates to past performance is not indicative of future results. So looking at stocks, first things first. As we mentioned, we're currently drawing close to the current earnings season, and with that we're going to be having three key names reporting the figures for next week. We'll have Nvidia, who's going to be reporting on the 25th of May after the market close. We'll also then have two stocks reporting their figures on the same day, which is on the 26th. These two stocks are going to be Dell Corporation and Lenovo Group, the two computer/technology giants. Now, the exact timing of whether the figures will be released in the pre-market or after hours has not yet been released for both of these stocks, but definitely be on the lookout closer to the dates of the release of the earnings report, as they may actually give updates with regards to the timings. We also saw last week how Target plunged by 25%, which we can see on the chart now as well, this huge red candlestick. So this is essentially a stark reminder of how important the earnings reports can be and the impact that they can have towards the stock prices. And Target, what's even more impressive about it is that it actually had a mixed earnings report. So it actually missed, the EPS expectation, but it also beat the revenue expectations. But despite the fact, when we had the press conference with regards to the earnings call itself, they did mention that they expected a dent to their annual profits due to rising costs, which is one of the main potential reasons as to the 25% drop. So keep those three names, Nvidia, again, Dell and Lenovo in mind, in case you're looking to trade all three of those stocks. That leads me to also one new feature that was released by Tixee as of recently, which is the new social trading feature. Now you can find it when you go to the terminal. You see this social trading button on the left hand side. Essentially, if you do not want to be actively placing the trades yourself, you can choose to copy any other basically trader who has their account up and available to be copied. You can also see the top performing traders up on this section here, and also the trending traders, whether either gaining or losing in this section here. And depending on which one you want to copy, you can simply click on one button, the copy button here. You can see also the percentage fee that is being charged as well, and also how many other traders are currently copying this particular account. This can be useful if you don't have that much time to be in front of the charts and placing the trades yourself. So if you see one that fits your risk criteria and overall your risk appetite as well, then you can look into copying that specific trader. So this is a pretty new feature. So I would recommend checking out. If it's something that you would like to use, then obviously it's up there and available on Tixee's terminal. Carry on with the outlook. We'll be moving on to Forex now, and we're actually going to be looking at the economic calendar to highlight some of the more important events for next week. As always, the economic calendar is available if you go to the home page, you navigate to the Education and Research tab, you can click on the economic calendar, and you have a bunch of tools or filters, I would say rather, that you can use here in order to readjust the data according to your liking. We're going to switch this to the next week and keep it to medium and high impact events. Again, always keep note of the time up here because it's going to adjust essentially with regards to the hour of the release of the specific event that you're looking at. So kicking things off on Monday, we're going to be having the business climate figure coming out of Germany, which is labeled as the high impact event on Monday morning at 9 a.m. UK time. Moving on to Tuesday, we see we're going to be having the interest rate decision from Indonesia. Again, if exotics is something that you're looking into trading, then obviously interest rate decision is one of the highest impact events when it comes to a specific currency. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Always, as always, and as I keep mentioning on pretty much every other webinar, you can use the tooltip right here, which gives you a rough idea of the volatility you can expect in the hours after the release of the event. Following on, we're going to be having manufacturing data coming out of Germany, and then generally the Eurozone is going to be at 8:30 and 9 in the morning. And then it's also going to be followed by manufacturing data from the UK, which is going to be at 9:30 a.m. Scrolling through, we'll have the new home sales figure coming out of the US at 3, which is pretty much drawing the day to a close for Tuesday. And this is actually labeled as the high impact event of the day. Then, moving on to Wednesday, we'll have the GDP growth rate coming out of Germany at 7 in the morning. Obviously a key rate, seeing as how it's the Eurozone's largest economy as well. We also have the GDP growth rate coming out of Mexico. So if the Mexican peso is an exotic you're looking to trade, again, definitely be on the lookout for this event. And towards midday, going to be having durable goods orders coming out of the US. But the all-important event of the day is obviously going to be the FOMC meeting minutes, which are going to be released at 7 in the evening. And again, it's labeled as one of the high impact events, which in my opinion, slightly more important than the durable good orders. Obviously, pay attention to both if the US dollar is one of the currencies within your watch list, but the FOMC meeting minutes are definitely going to bring in some added volatility. And then moving on to Thursday, going to be having GDP data out of the US at midday, and roundabout at the same time, we're also going to be having retail sales figure coming out of Canada, which are then followed by pending home sales from the US at 3. So from midday, UK time onwards, we're basically going to have a flurry of events coming out of the US and Canada at the same time, more or less. And then finishing things off on Friday, we'll have the retail sales figure in the morning hours from Australia at 2:30 a.m. And then towards midday, we're going to be having a PCE price index, which is the Fed's actual preferred inflation data. So obviously this is going to be a pretty key figure to be released as well. And also going to be having personal spending and income figures, which again, they're going to be released at the same time. So we have 3, 6, 8 events roundabout at the same time. So 1:30 UK time. So obviously going to be a somewhat volatile time in the market. So this is with regards to the economic calendar. Since we're on the topic, I'm going to be moving on to commodities as well. We'll have the usual oil inventory report, which is going to be released at 3:30. Again, this is UK time. And then plus we're going to look at some of the cryptos as well. Specifically, it's going to be Bitcoin. Let me just switch this onto the weekly time frame. Again, if you've been tuning in over the past couple of webinars, or if you're actively watching the YouTube videos that are being released on Tixee's YouTube channel, you do have seen this price channel we've been discussing over the past, I'd say, month now, which we're either expecting to drop towards the downside, and if it did so, then we're looking for prices to reach this level, which was the next key area of interest, which we have now reached. We can see we did breach through this level, however we did close right above it, so we could potentially be seeing some trapped sellers in this area, seeing as how if some people had their self-stop orders sitting below this level and they were triggered, and then maybe the stop loss were sitting above this level, then obviously some of them will have been stopped out, and some of them, if they have the stop loss even higher, let's say up to these levels, they could be still basically holding their trades but being trapped, because we can see that we're still holding above this level. But we can see how key it is, because yeah, it is holding, but if it does break through, then we could see a move down all the way to these levels, which is like the 19,000 mark, or round about the 20,000 mark if we want to round things up even further. If it manages to hold, if we start seeing price forming some new higher highs and breaking some of the previous highs, then we could retest potentially this key level right here. And if we break above it, then we have another level right up here, and then the next one is essentially back up to the all-time highs. So again, in my opinion, it just really depends on what price is going to be doing roundabout in this area. Patience would be key, not to be jumping too soon on trades and maybe getting chopped out around about these levels. So yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting couple of weeks ahead with regards to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, so as to see what price is gonna be doing, whether we're gonna be forming higher highs or we're gonna be breaking below and retesting lows from all the way back to December 2017, basically. So yeah, this as far as the outlook for next week's markets. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Until then, trade safe.